Stadium Court. And we'll take you there now to Pat Summerall and Mary Carrillo.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. Women's third round, number 1 seed Steffi Graf against Nathalie Herreman, who is from France. And beyond that, I'm sure not too many people, Mary, know much about Nathalie Herreman. This Steffi Graf, of course, the number 1 seed, chasing the Grand Slam. Looking very strong, very fit, and you know, who can beat her?
Well, according to Billie Jean King, this woman will win the Grand Slam if she doesn't break her leg. I think that's the way a lot of people feel about her. Don Budge and Margaret Court, both of whom have won the Grand Slam, also feel that Steffi Graf should win.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match will be the best of
It's Nathalie Herreman. She's 22 years old.
Graf won the toss.
Pretty good lefty, and she had some good wins here. She's beaten 2 Americans, Ronnie Reese and Kathy Rinaldi, to get to the 3rd round. But I expect that she'll be very outclassed today.
She lives in Paris. Steffi Graf has been the story of the tournament and the story of the tennis world throughout this year. Her quest for the Grand Slam. In fact, that's become a rather controversial subject during the course of this week, because Martina Navratilova won 6 Grand Slam events in a row, but not in the same calendar year. And
that's exactly right. The International Tennis Federation and the Women's International Tennis Association both acknowledge that. So what happened is, it's just as you say, from Wimbledon '83 to the U.S. Open of '84, she won all those titles, but had she won the Australian that year, she would have had it. She lost to Sukova there. I don't think she won the Grand Slam. I think it's a grand achievement, not a Grand Slam.
It certainly is a grand achievement. John Sternbach is the chair umpire. Steffi Graf to serve. She's always been impressive, but each year she looks bigger and stronger and more effective.
She's much more than 1 year better, and I think this is a place where she's gotten better than anywhere else. Her serve.
Always had that awesome forehand. That one.
30 low.
30 low.
First game of the match.
Routine. Graf wins the first game, first set. Serving against the number 1 seed, Steffi Graf. That makes it 15 all. Graf won the first game of the first set easily.
Well, she won that baseline rally, but I really feel that Herreman, a bolt of lightning is going to have to hit her and force her to serve and volley from here on in, because there's no baseliner who can stand toe-to-toe against Graf except Sabatini. And that's because Sabatini's ball takes Graf beyond the baseline, where she can't hit winners as easily.
It's 30-15.
All.
She doesn't look so scary, does she?
No. There are a lot of weapons.
That's a problem against Graf. Herreman just tried to overplay her hand there and go for a winner out of nowhere.
Double fault number 1. Nathalie Herreman. She has so much power, Graf does. She leads 2 games to love. What would be your strategy against her?
I just don't. I think the only way to attack, you've got to attack her. As I said, only Sabatini's baseline game bothers Graf. Chris Evert hasn't been able to make an impression on it in a long time. You've got to take it to her the way Lori McNeil nearly did last year.
Meantime, let's go out to court 16. And the score there, Sukova won the first set. First set 7-5. Over in the grandstand, to which we'll be switching from time to time this afternoon. Frawley won the first set over LeConte 6-3. Henry is up in the second set.
Try by Herreman. She stayed with Graf for a while there, but this, again, another department of Graf's game that has improved so much. She's more comfortable at the net. She understands how to position herself better now, and both her hands and feet are so quick.
Great court coverage. She leads 2-love first set, and 40-love in this game. And now she leads 3-love in the first set. In quest of her Grand Slam, has won the first 3 games of the first set. Nathalie Herreman serving. That's how she has progressed and how quickly she has gotten the action over with.
Love 30.
Double fault number 2 by Nathalie Herreman. Just a little bit overmatched. Maybe more than a little bit.
You were being kind. The thing is, players much better than Nathalie Herreman have gotten the same feeling. Pam Shriver in the semis of Wimbledon on her best surface grass lost to Graf, got killed 1 and 2, and said afterwards, I was fighting the feeling of playing not to be embarrassed rather than playing to win. She said, I knew it was the wrong attitude, but that's how I felt.
Helpless feeling.
couple of nice smashes in this last point. And again, you can just see how confident Graf is. She's not even in a great position for that smash. And still, she's unworried.
And it's break point.
She leads 4 games to love.
4-love, first set. Number 1 seeded Steffi Graf. Women's 3rd round match. From overhead, look down at the USTA's National Tennis Center, that, of course, the stadium.
First serve.
Love.
First ace by Graf. 30 love.
$30-15.
30-15, just missed.
That one set was the first set of the final at Wimbledon against Martina Navratilova that Graf lost. She was asked about that time if she knew who the last player to win the Grand Slam was. She didn't know. Nope, she didn't know. Not the sentimental type.
She leads 5 games to love.
But a very effective type. 5 love. Hello, Steffi Graf. 5 love in the first set. Nathalie Herreman serving.
30 love.
Love.
After Wimbledon, Steffi Graf went home to Germany, went home to her beloved dog Max, who was beating up on a Cocker Spaniel. In true Graf tradition, Max was winning against the competition. Graf went to stop Max, and he ended up biting her hand. The middle finger of her racket hand is, the nail you can see is very discolored. And it was a real scare for Graf. She had to go to the hospital for a cast, which extended up to her elbow. She got home. Max thought it was a learning device. He was a security guard. He jumped her again. Didn't hurt her that time, yeah.
very competitive family.
It would take a pack of wild dogs to stop Graf today.
Boy, give her enough swings to that forehand, and it's just a matter of time.
Game in first set draw, 6 games to love.
It took 19 minutes for Steffi Graf to win the first set, and we'll be back at the U.S. Open after this word
Second set.
from your local station.
To serve.
I'm Tim Ryan in our studio. I've been joined here by Barry McKay, and we're watching the action out on court 16, where Amy Frazier, 15 years of age, is trailing 5-6 in the second set to the number 7 seed, Helena Sukova of Czechoslovakia. Amy Frazier is from Rochester Hills, Michigan, and she has been giving the much more experienced Sukova quite a tough time, Barry.
She's a good young player, Tim. She stays back, gets good ground strokes. Looks like it just dropped in front of the baseline, 30 all.
This is a third-round match. Amy Frazier got this far by defeating Olga Zarbapoulou of Greece and then Anne de Vries of Belgium. Sukova defeated Lisa von der Kreis of Beverly Hills, California in the first round, and then Diane Balustrade of Australia in round 2. The number 7 seeded Sukova would be en route to meet the winner of Katerina Maleva and Sandra.
Set. Let's go back to the stadium court. Pat Summerall and Mary Carrillo.
Steffi Graf in the far court. Nathalie Herreman
Love 30.
in a real struggle.
She got a big ovation 22 minutes into the match when she won her first game. Not too much to clap about for her since.
So that's the situation. Graf won the first set in 19 minutes, 6-love. Herreman serving now at 1-2 in the second.
It's funny when we refer to Graf matches, we always talk minutes.
Yeah. It doesn't take long. Or hasn't so far. Just 40. Constant pressure. Break point. Love 40. Just wide.
Game Graf. He leads 3 games to 1.
3-1 in the second set after Graf won the first set 6-love. Let's go back to the grandstand. Jim Nance.
Andre Lecomte in the far court. 15-40. We're on serve in the third set. 2 games to 1. Let's go back to the stadium.
She won the first set 6-love. Up 4-1 in the second.
Deuce.
Nathalie Herreman, her opponent, gets it back to deuce, serving at 1-4 in the second set.
I love that one. I mean, her forehand is good when she hits it all over the court.
Advantage Graf.
But that one where she runs around the backhand and just lets it ride is prettiest thing around. Pavel Slozil looking up and speaking to Peter Graf, Steffi's father. Slozil is her hitting coach. Hitting partner, I should say. The coach is the father. No two ways about that.
She wore the hitting partner out in practice this morning already. That's out. Deuce again.
At the French Open, a bunch of the junior boys, she had 3 of them on the court with her to prepare her for the final rounds, and they'd play 1 point, more often than not lose it, and then they'd switch around, rotate them. It's really something to see. She just can't practice with any other woman on the planet these days.
Amazing talent.
Advantage Graf.
4 double faults by Herreman. Advantage Graf. Break point. That would make it 5-1 in the second.
Game Graf. She leads in the second set, 5 games to 1.
Steffi now will serve for the match, which is now 43 minutes old. In its 3rd round. A reminder that tonight, the #1 ranked Florida State Seminoles against the #6 ranked Miami Hurricanes. Stay with us as CBS kicks off its 1988 college football season. Florida State hoping to avenge that loss last year that probably cost them the national championship to Miami.
30 love.
Starts at 9 o'clock tonight here on CBS. Talked about it earlier today, Mary.
Game, set, and match ball.
Discussed Nathalie Herreman's chances. You said, I think she's going to get mugged. And she did.
6-1.
Love and 1. It took 44 minutes. Steffi Graf advances, and we'll come back and talk with the #1 seed, Steffi Graf, in just a moment. She moves on quite handily. Seed Steffi Graf just eliminated Nathalie Herreman. 6-love, 6-1. That's what she has in front of her. Fendick and Hanukkah, which will be played a little bit later on this afternoon, would have the unenviable task of playing Steffi Graf. Let's go down now with Steffi is Barry McKay.
All right, Pat. Steffi, you must be feeling a little bit of extra pressure, the Grand Slam ahead. Do you feel differently here than you did, say, at Wimbledon?
Not really. I think it was a lot of pressure also in Wimbledon for me. And, you know, I come out when I have my match and just relax. And whenever I play, you know, I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I'm not really concentrating on the Grand Slam then at all.
Steffi, what are you doing off the court these days to try and relax?
Well, I have to say yesterday I was in a concert, Kiss Sweat, and I'm trying to go to cinema and to go out a lot, so not always to think about the tennis.
Sylvia Hanukkah and Patty Fendick, any thoughts about that match coming up?
Well, I think it's going to be Sylvia Hanukkah, another left-handed and high topspin, and it won't be that easy too. Well, let's see.
Steffi, you think as the matches go on, you'll start trying to come in and perhaps volley a little more?
Well, my natural game is from the baseline, and that's what I'm basically going to do. And the last couple months I've stick to that, and it's been working very well, so I won't change it.
Thanks for stopping, Steffi. Now let's head over to the grandstand and Jim Nantz.
Thank you, Barry McKay. Here, fresh off a break in the 4th game of the 3rd set. Frawley serving at deuce.